Hello there, and we are live. See ya, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to another installment. Yeah, see ya, guys. You guys know before I start my shows, yeah, I always give you, just an insight into who, who's looking at you right now. See ya, guys. Yeah, not a person. Day one, homie, because I started doing streams when me and this guy when we're always rolling around a certain group. He knows, he understands. Yeah, he knows the people who were always chatting with in that group, Chelsea Dan and the rest. I mean, yeah, anyone who survives Chelsea Dan, yeah, I mean, in an argument, bruv.
Salute to that.
Salute to you.
Po, po, po.
Po, po, po. See it, guys. He doesn't get better than this. My guy, my brother, is back on the channel. I was here with him last week. He's now here again, yeah. And of course, a new installment of our show, Gunnerz and Magz, is actually 2 year old today. See ya, Steve. Talk to these people, man. How you doing, my brother, man? Talk to these people. Po, po, po. That's my day one homie, man. Talk to these people, man.
Big up, man. I always good to catch up with you and do the Gunnerz and Magz show. Yeah, like you said, bro, it's crazy. We've been doing it for 2 years, but that is the truth. Yeah, bro, I'm chilling, man. Looking forward to Champions League football today.
Looking forward to that too. Thank God Arsenal won't be playing today. I'll be at Saka's MTV tonight. See ya. Let's start from Newcastle. I mean, Steve. Just breathe, yeah. Relax, sit back, relax. Let's talk. Let's start with Newcastle, bruv. I mean, you've conceded 19 goals. Sorry, 21 goals this season in the Premiership. You've only put in 19 goals this season, if I'm correct, yeah, Steve. I think you're rooted in 12th now. Am I sure? Please help me check.
Yeah.
Are you in 12th?
Yeah.
Okay, you've played 15 games. I mean, that's poor, man. I mean, see, yeah, when you go get a draw, yeah, over red hot Liverpool right now, yeah, you get it, and then the next game you play against Brentford, and suddenly it's like it's a bunch of chickens and a bunch of Oreos running around. I mean, the score line, 4 goals to 2. Steve, take us through a tour of what's really going on with Newcastle right now. And it's Eddie Howe's job, beginning to, ring the alarm bells. It's Christmas. I mean, do you think you would hear the alarm bells ringing on his, at his doorstep before the jingle bells of Christmas start rolling in? Big up to Tommy C. Sabia is down here with us. BX Gunner, we have to talk in the Arsenal segment. We have to talk. BX Gunner. I've seen your shrine, yeah, where you have your Arsenal stuff and your Arsenal paraphernalia. I mean, come on, man. You're an Arsenal man. I know when we drop points against Fulham, I know you weren't buying it. Please, you have to be here so that when we start that discussion about Arsenal Football Club, I want to hear what you have to say. I mean, that wasn't desirable. We'll talk all about that after Newcastle. See, Steve, take it all away. Take it away.
Bro, I want you to, you know how we have a very, very vivid idea about Spurs, who they are, what they do, their tendencies. Spurs one day can go and beat Manchester City 4-0. Then the next game they lose to Ipswich Town.
It's the Spurs thing to do.
Newcastle United are the same exact thing. You draw 3-3 with Liverpool. Extremely entertaining game. Yeah. Giving up 3 goals to Liverpool, it is what it is. They've been awesome this year, but we got 3 as well. And our attack has been struggling this year. Like you said, we've conceded more goals than we've scored. So that happens on one day, and then the very next day we lose 4-2 to Brentford. And I can call this all from a mile away, Tony. I knew we were going to lose the Brentford game. I said 3-1 Brentford win.
Oh, you knew that? Oh, you caught it. You caught it.
You can ask Wallace. You can look on my bro. I knew we was going to lose that game by at least 2 goals. Look at Brentford's home record. Look at how many goals they've scored in the league. And look at us,
bro.
we're
Brentford have scored a whooping 31 goals this season.
That's on par with Spurs and only behind Chelsea. Brentford has scored more Premier League goals than Man City, Arsenal,
even Liverpool. What are we talking? Even
Liverpool as well.
It's just that they've considered lots of goals too in consideration to what they've scored. I think they've received they've conceded about 28 goals, if I'm correct. Am I correct, Strasbourg?
Yeah.
28, right?
Yeah. So when you watch, basically when you watch Brentford, you see a lot of goals on both ends. A lot of goals. And also one thing about Brentford this year is they are very Jekyll and Hyde when it's home form versus away form. They haven't lost at home. They've won every game except one draw, but then away from home, they haven't won a game. So they're very, very good at home, but then extremely poor away from home.
We got
them at home. We went to the G-Tech Stadium, and we got destroyed. First half was pretty even. We both had really good chances to score. Harvey Barnes scored. Isak scored a header off a Murphy cross shot, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, 8 minutes in, and Burmo scored. And then Wissa scored as well. Both with cracking finishes. I mean, those two guys, my word, what a duo. What a duo those two guys are. And yeah, and then the second half, we got it was one-way traffic. It would have been 5-2 at the very end if Dan Burn didn't make a last-minute clearance. So, Tony, this is the thing, though. This is what we talk about with Spurs. How one day against a really good team, against all odds, they can go out and win or get a good result when you never saw it coming. But then they go and lose to a team that, they've got momentum after the City game. Nope. They didn't take that momentum in the Ipswich game. They lost it. Same thing with Newcastle. We have good momentum and a really good attacking performance against Liverpool. What do? We go away to Brentford and get smashed up 4-2. Tony, we're inconsistent, just like Spurs. We just wear different color shirts. We just wear different color shirts. That's it. And this is the Tony.
But I mean, Steve. Yeah, I know all this stuff. Yeah, but see, yeah, I mean, when you have long staff, yeah, in the middle of the park, when you have a player in the mode of Bruno Guimaraes, yeah, just sitting down there in the middle of the park, and then you have Alexandre Isak. I mean, see, man. I can go through a tour of the kind of talent you have down there. I mean, I shouldn't start talking about Burns at the back. Fabian Shaw, who could also score goals. We've seen him do that this season already. Livramento. I mean, see, man, you have what it takes, yeah, to actually be jostling for Champions League football. Do you want to put this at the foot of Eddie Howe? I mean, Tommy Sabia have already said, "Hey, Steve, you should be calling for the head of Eddie Howe." Steve,
I am.
Where are you at this point? As in, is it Eddie Howe's howlers that's causing all these? Do you think he's not putting out the right players? I mean, my manager isn't putting out the right players. I mean, Thomas Partey is starting at right back. That's a big one. I'll discuss it all together later on with Arsenal fans. But I mean, your manager isn't really doing that. Fabian Schär is starting in his normal position. Isak is starting in his normal position. Bruno Guimaraes is starting in his normal position. Joe Linton is starting in his normal position. What is the problem? How is putting the players where they should be, but he's not getting what he ought to get in terms of points? What is the problem? What is the problem, Steve? Talk to these people.
Well, the problem is you can go, not problem number one, but one of the problems is, Tony, we didn't sign anyone of note in the summer. What did we do for transfer business? Nothing, really. We brought in Osula from Sheffield United for $15 million. We got Lloyd Kelly on a free. We signed a fucking backup goalkeeper from Nottingham Forest for PSR reasons. That's it. None of those players I listed improve our first 11 or squad.
True. None even walks into the team.
Everyone else.
None walks into the team.
Every other team. They have fresh
None
faces.
walks into the team.
They have fresh faces. Right? So we did not even make legitimate attempts to improve. In fact, we got worse. Elliot Anderson, we sold him to Nottingham Forest. That's one less midfielder of higher quality than Longstaff. Elliot Anderson's a far better player than Sean Longstaff ever will be, right? But nobody wants Sean Longstaff. That's why he's still here. Elliot Anderson, Forest wanted him, and we sold him. Yakuba Minte went to Brighton, had to sell him for the PSR crap. And so right away, right wingers, we don't have any good right wingers. And then we have not found any balance in the team, any consistent 11, any consistent, and that goes on Eddie Howe, man, because you are making decisions that are not improving the team. There's no cohesion, and it's inconsistent at the best of times. It's inconsistent. And this has been this way. It has been this way since December 26th against Nottingham Forest. I don't know if you watched the game, but it was a 12:30 kickoff on Boxing Day, and they slapped us 3-1 at St. James's Park. We were terrible.
True.
We were terrible. And ever since that game, I said the team died. The identity of the team died, and the team has never looked the same since then. Never looked the same since then. The odd good result or odd good performance here and there, but we've not been – there's no cohesion with the team anymore. There's no consistent identity anymore. And it's not like we have Europe where it's like, oh, the players are tired and the injuries and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
There's no excuses anymore. There's no excuses anymore.
Okay, in terms of excuses, brother, Steve, you just made mention about summer signings. Yeah, probably you didn't do good business in the summer. But again, you could still also make that argument that one of the most trusted hands in terms of the sporting director role, Dan Ashworth, left your football club down to Manchester United, and then you had a shitty summer transfer window. I don't really see you guys changing stuff in January. I mean, to what extent would you attach this failings in the transfer window to your sporting director, who we all know, Dean Ashworth is a fairly good, fairly good fellow.
Yeah, he's good. Yes,
he's a fairy guy, great guy. He knows his job. He knows what to do. But I mean, since he's left, it's not the same with Newcastle in the transfer window. That's number one. Number two, he's now linked to taking that Arsenal sporting director job. To what extent would you say, hey, this is from the hierarchy? They've not planned things well. They've not done things well. Would you attach it to them in any sense?
Well, we had a few problems that we didn't end up finding solutions for in the summer. First of all, was the PSR stuff. We spent a bit more than we were allowed to, and that's why we had to sell Minte and Anderson. Also, our CEO Darren Eales revealed a few months ago, and nobody had any clue that he has cancer. And the CEO is a big part of how a football club runs. And also, Ashworth departed during the summer, and Paul Mitchell stepped in during the summer. So you're already on the back foot bringing in a very important figure, and one of your other important figures is not able to do his job. And the whole thing with Eddie Howe about, he wants certain control and say on players and all that. Bro, your talent ID is awful. It's awful. It's really bad. And he's mismanaged the squad. He's done a poor job this season. And Tony, this is you've been watching football long enough, bro. You can tell when a certain manager is just never going to it's like that's the end. That guy needs to go because it's not going to get any better. You just know it. You know it in your heart. When West Ham had all these bum managers over the years and they fired them, it was like, that was coming for a while. Under Unai Emery.
Yeah.
Maybe if you persisted with him, you could be somewhere else. But like there was a point where it was like clearly Unai Emery at Arsenal is not going to work out.
Yeah.
Manchester United over the years, you knew when Ole needed to be sacked. You knew they weren't going to get any better. You knew that whatever. Pochettino at Chelsea. I could go on and on and on. We all know examples of managers where you just see that one game and you're like, that loss is not just going to be, heads up onto the next. No.
Mm-hmm.
Runs of form continued after that.
Continuing, yeah,
this
exactly,
is what happened
man.
to Eddie Howe. This is what happened to Eddie Howe. He's done a great job taking us from, saving us from relegation.
Yeah, saving God from getting to that Champions League.
But there's only so far you can take a certain team. There's only so far, and he's hit his ceiling.
But again, again, you could still put up some arguments for Eddie Howe, yeah. But because I don't think that after that Champions League stint he had, I don't think he reinforced in any way. I don't think he has brought in high caliber players to come help out. Some have actually left the football club, and some would definitely leave in the summer because we're hearing rumors of Isaac down to Arsenal. But I don't want to attach all the blame to Eddie Howe as a football manager and as a coach, because even in that Champions League stint, he actually struggled with the squad. The squad wasn't enough. They were always getting injured. He didn't have enough reinforcements from the bench. So, and he struggled to actually get you guys to where you guys were at that point. But in the grand scheme of things, there haven't been new high caliber quality players that's come down to Newcastle to help out the cavalry. So, I mean, you can say, hey, as a coach, he has failed in this, he's failed in that. But to what extent can you attach that fault to him? I mean, he hasn't gotten anyone to work with from the bench. First 11, yes, you can say, okay, good. We have a good enough first 11. We have stars in that. At least we have about 2-3 world-class players. I consider Bruno Gunnerz to be a world-class player.
In that starting 11, you also have promising English youngsters.
Gordon. I mean, but the fact there is that there has been no one to come into the football club, even as a big bad player, but a quality player. I haven't seen that. And again, you can't attach that to Eddie Howe. I mean, it's not him running the business.
I'm not saying he's entirely at fault. However, I think he's at fault enough where I think he should be doing better, because we haven't struggled with mass injuries this season. Joelinton, Bruno Guimaraes, all the big hitters and all the other decent players we've had have been available pretty much the whole season. Callum Wilson hasn't been available a lot of the time, but guess what? Callum Wilson needed to be sold in the summer because two things we know about Callum Wilson. He struggles with injuries, but when he's on the pitch, he does score a lot of goals. He will score you goals, and it's a good alternative. It's in a perfect world, when he's fit and healthy and doesn't get injured, he's a perfect alternative to Isak. But unfortunately, he is so injury prone that he is unavailable about 70% of the time. Yeah, in that 30%, you could get a good amount of goals out of him. But he is unavailable to the point where it is not worth having him as the backup striker. And this is where Osula comes into it. I've seen at least 5 or 6 times this year, we're chasing a game, we're losing, or it's late in the game, and the two teams are tied, and Eddie Howe looks at his bench, Wilson there, Wilson isn't there. Guess the one guy that we brought into the summer for a transfer fee, William Osula, a young striker. He doesn't get minutes. He does not get subbed on. We put Gordon as a false 9. We put Barnes as a false 9. We put Joelinton as a false 9. We put you have a player that you got in the summer and you are not using him when in a situation that makes sense to give him a chance.
To give him a chance, yeah.
That is on Eddie Howe and nobody else. And the thing is, he's not even letting Osula show if he's good enough or not good enough.
At least you know the level of the player. At least you know where he stands. You know if he deserves to even don the shirt of the Magpies. I mean, you just have to give these players a chance. I mean, that's the same question with Mikel Arteta. We'll get on to that quite soon. See Strasbourg, Steve. I mean, Arsenal. Let's move into the Arsenal topic. We'll be talking about Leicester, dropping down to Northumberland, and I mean that'll be a skirmish. I'm expecting that to be a skirmish this weekend against Leicester City. They're looking for points. They're in search of that point. I mean, Newcastle are the most vulnerable when you have teams that have nothing to lose and we
And
just.
a new manager.
I mean, and a new that manager bounds Ruud van Nistelrooy. Actually, new manager. I mean, he handled the squad in the last game. He was able to rescue
Come
a
back from that.
draw just this past weekend. So, but anyway, it's still in that honeymoon
We
period
lost
where there could still be that manager bounds. Anyway,
Tony,
it
for
could go on.
context. So
Yeah, it
real
could go
quick,
on a streak.
Tony,
as far
real
as I
quick,
know.
real quick for some context. We lost to Brighton at home.
Oh,
They got a draw.
damn.
So
Damn.
look, we'll probably draw or lose. This
Draw or
Saturday
lose.
in Sydney.
I
Yeah.
mean,
We're in a
see,
terrible
guys,
area.
everyone who's watching, this is Strasbourg Steve and Tony Cloud Gunner TV on our show, Gunners and Mags. Smash the like button, support the channel, yeah. And see, guys, I need all of you in the chat, yeah, to just be part of this show. Strasbourg Steve, thank God I have you down here because you're the only one that can do justice to this because, of course, you love football and, of course, I do respect the eyes you used to look into this subject most times. Look at Arsenal versus Fulham, my brother. I mean, Arsenal is rolling with 0.79 xg this season. I mean, it's not good enough when you have Martin Odegaard, when you have Vianney, Martinelli, Trossard. I mean, when you have this kind of names, you expect to have a higher number of xg. I mean, our xg in that matchup against Fulham was 0.39, if I'm 0.39, 0.35 within
Very
that
low
range. I mean, it's extremely low. In fact, that's the lowest that I've seen. How can you have 8 shots off goal? See, Steve, man, you looked into that matchup here. Where do you think was the problem? Me, that first 11, just the first 11 was a problem already. Why is Thomas Partey playing in the right back position? It doesn't make sense for me. Why? He made the same mistake a couple of years, I think, was it not maybe last season, where he was tucking Thomas Partey down that right-hand side, as a right back. And we saw what happened. It hurt his game, and he turned up injured at the end of that day. Before Thomas Partey came back at the tail end of the season, why are you sending Thomas Partey, who is arguably our best midfielder this season? I mean, I don't know who has that, who thinks otherwise right now that Thomas Partey isn't our best midfielder. You take our best midfielder, tuck him into the right-hand position. I mean, BX Gunner has already talked about a certain kid, Scottish kid we have down there languishing in the bench. I mean, it's just only there in the, on the bench. What, for show, for gimmicks? What is this? And that is a guy that has a natural inclination towards that left back position. Why isn't he putting him in that left back position and leaving Timber in that right hand? We all know that Timber has looked on arguably is our best player, for the past 3-4 games during Timber. And
at the right back position.
At that right back position. I mean, he's our best. And then you remove him from the right, where he's doing quite well, tuck him into that left-hand position, lift the guy out who has a natural inclination into that left back position on the bench in terms of Tierney. I don't know how he has mismanaged the fitness level of Zinchenko so bad that the guy doesn't even play at them consistently on a consistent basis. He has mismanaged the fitness of Calafiori. To me, everyone in the
rushes
fans,
Calafiori back. He rushed him back twice.
I mean, rushing him back twice. I mean, making the guy look like an Oreo to all these guys, because I do think that coming from the Italian Serie A, I mean, you know the Italian Serie A. We've seen lots of players who've come to this league and struggled. Shevchenko, Crespo, Schumacher have struggled in this league. It was UPS and DHL back down to the Serie A with UPS Fast Track. I mean, see, Koulibaly, I mean, they've all failed in this league, yeah, to be very sincere with you. If Calafiori is coming to this league, he has to acclimatize to the whole system. I've given him a season to do that. But how can he do that when you're mismanaging the fitness levels of these players? I mean, Calafiori can't even get 5 games at a trot. You saw that game against Fulham, man. Talk to me. What do you think? Where did, because I count that game as a loss. Yeah. Where do you think Mikel Arteta went wrong in that, in that fixture?
Well, his lineup was wrong. I agree with you about Partey. Very similar again to what I was complaining about with Eddie Howe. You know, when Tonali was playing extremely well in the middle, he decides the next game after the Arsenal game to take him out of the middle of the park and bench him for Longstaff and throw Bruno G there. Managers get in their way a lot, bro. Managers are very stubborn and they get in their own way a lot of times. You know what the brilliant managers do? They keep things simple. They keep things simple and they just play players where they're best at, their best position. Look, with Arsenal, man, yeah, a few injuries, and then Arteta, he tries to find solutions, but everyone knows that it's not going to work in this instance or that. Like you said with Timber at right back, he adds good attacking emphasis and presence on the right-hand side. Hence, that was a part of Saka playing really well past few games. That was a part of your attack overall, like doing well, besides the set pieces. And that's the thing. There's playing to your strengths, and then there's exclusively playing to one of your strengths. Right now, you're exclusively playing to one of your strengths, which is set pieces. Yeah. Again, what do the best teams have? They have multiple strengths, and they play into all of them at certain points.
To all the strengths.
Arteta is obsessed with the set piece thing, and when it works, it works. But then when someone finds a solution for it, and it's not working on the day, hell, even when it works, you still conceded. You only scored 1 goal off the set piece. You didn't score 2 of them. And then obviously, Saka, Martinelli being offside, he's a player in huge decline.
Steve, see, you're a rival fan. You're a rival fan, but yet you still enjoy football. And that's why I always like your takes here. You look at Arsenal right now, rival fans are calling us set piece FC. I mean, as shameful as it gets, a Tottenham legend called Arsenal Stoke City 2.0. I mean, just throw that all away. I mean, I'm talking of another Oreo from another place called Gary Neville. Looked at Arsenal and said, the most annoying man in Premier League right now is our set piece coach, Nicolas Jovier. I mean, Steve, do you concur, to that nomenclature that Arsenal is set piece FC? Are we set piece FC? I mean, Arsenal is still second in the. I mean, we've scored about 52 goals since last season through open play. I mean, when people say that Arsenal is strictly set piece FC, I question that. Because Arsenal have scored goals from open play since last season was second in terms of goals scored via open play. We have about 52 goals since last season, heading down to this season. So statistically, I don't agree with that. But from a rival fan, what are you saying? Do you think Arsenal is set piece FC? Are we Stoke City 2.0?
Well, no, because obviously your team is way better than any Stoke team in history. So I mean, like that, I'll nitpick at that. But like, I mean, here's the thing, Tony. When you do drop points in games, there's a reason why. It's because you don't score from open play or you don't get whatever. That is one of the things. So when it works, it's cool. And also, I don't know why people are so annoyed about it, because it's not like you're winning things. It's not like this has been a recipe for title success. It's gotten you in contending spots, but so I don't know why people are so annoyed about what a team who's fell short, what they're up to. Like, I don't know. If you guys were winning EPL titles off of it, I could understand the jealousy.
Yeah.
I could understand that angle from it, because winners get criticized off of jealousy. The losers get criticized off of what they don't do good enough to be winners.
Exactly. I love that wordplay, man.
Like, honestly, from open play and overall performances this year, it's not been very impressive from you guys in a lot of the games. So like it does seem like you guys are pretty obsessed with set pieces, and it costs you in games, like the game against Fulham. Hell, I mean, it did save you at least a point out of it, because if you didn't, you never really looked like scoring in that game to me. You never really, Anthony Robinson.
But I mean, we had superior ball possession. We held on to the ball. We passed the ball around, but we're trying to get the ball into into spaces. Odegaard wasn't really getting those clear-cut chances to actually get through to Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz was missing in the game. I mean, Lukas Podolski, Strasbourg, Steve, come on, man. Lukas Podolski just day before yesterday pronounced Kai Havertz and said, Kai Havertz isn't a genuine striker for Arsenal Football Club. I mean, that's a German.
Yeah, it's his boy. Yeah, well, Tony, we know that Havertz is not good enough to be a starting 9 on a team that wants to win the EPL title. You need an upgrade in that position very clearly, because guess what? The backup to Havertz is Jesus, and Jesus offers you nothing. Sterling isn't a striker, but I'm talking about forward options. Sterling offers you nothing. Martinelli, a lot of this season, has offered little to nothing. Trossard, unless he's coming off the bench, offers little to nothing as a starter.
He offers nothing. I mean, he looks drab. I mean, see, at the end of last season, even at the start of the season, he was, making 1 or 2 moves. He was looking to be, agile, hungry. But right now, man, as in, Trossard looked like a chicken that is drenched in rain. I mean, he just looks a shadow of himself. I don't feel the hunger. I don't feel the. I don't feel the urgency right now. He looks drab. Kai Havertz is missing from games totally. I mean, even if Kai Havertz isn't that guy to score goals, at least he's always running. At least he's always trying to get something. I mean, he's trying to upset people. He's trying to make tackles. Gabriel Martinelli is the worst. He's worse off. I mean, he's not getting into space. He doesn't know. He doesn't get his positional awareness again. Bukayo Saka put us 2-1 up in that matchup against Fulham, and just because of the lack of positional awareness, Martinelli just
outside. Yeah,
very late. I mean, come on, man. Oh God, man.
He's been dreadful
at this point.
He's been getting Tone again. This has been getting worse and worse under Arteta. Like, not many of your attackers are thriving outside of Saka, really. And Odegaard as well going for, but the games like the Fulham game where Odegaard doesn't leave his imprint on the game. He doesn't have a decisive influence. Like, this is Tony, sometimes you're just too easy to play against. Teams will set up in a mid block. They just have to execute their one-on-one duels, keep a good shape, and not give away too many corners. And there's a route for almost anyone to get 3 points against you, or a point at least. So this is the thing, Tony. Your summer window was not good enough to be considered a title contender in my eyes. Like, the manager, I don't think is good enough. I know he's not good enough. Let's put it like that. Let's be honest. He is not good enough to win Arsenal a Premier League title. And your squad overall, there's too many flaws.
Steve, see, I'm not putting up a defense for Arsenal, but I want you to look at this holistically. Yeah, Fulham. Yeah. aren't a poor side right now, to
They're
be
good
very
side.
sincere with
Yeah.
you. They've concocted some certain kind of wins this season, and even more recently. I mean, they put Brighton to the sword. I mean, Brighton is slightly ahead of them on the table, right? They've pulled off some certain kind of wins that are jaw dropping this season, yeah.
Yeah.
And they face Arsenal, and Arsenal literally dropped points at West London at the Cottage. Throw that all away. Arsenal played Bournemouth. We dropped 4 points away
Yeah.
with Bournemouth, but Bournemouth hasn't really looked poor this season. I
Yeah.
mean,
They've
they've
been good
taken
as
the
well.
scalp off some certain teams this season, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, and Fulham too are looking good. Marco Silva is a good
Yeah.
coach. I mean, Fulham isn't just really that football club. I mean that they once were without Marco Silva. So
They play
do you
you. They
think
play you
maybe
up.
the
You drop
expectation on
them.
Arsenal to beat these teams trumps what these teams are really like right now? Because maybe these teams could genuinely be teams that would also take away points from Liverpool, even Chelsea, if you even check it out more. Uh, uh, Do you think we're just expecting more from Arsenal? Should Arsenal be smashing Fulham? Should we be punching up Bournemouth, even if they've taken scalps of
Mm.
bigger teams this season? Even if they are looking good and their squad looks great. I mean, Emmy Smith Rowe looks good. You can't
Yeah.
deny that Bassi
Raul
isn't
Jimenez has
isn't
been
nearing a
horrible.
world class player. I mean, you can't say Iwobi isn't looking good. I mean, his goal haul this season is a testament to what he looks like. If
Yeah.
I'm correct, he's scored nothing less than at least 6 goals this season. He's looking good. He's looking confident. Emmy Smith Rowe confident, in the middle of the park, and of course, Marco Silva knows where to position players and leaves them there. He just allows
Yeah.
them to thrive, in their specialty. So, do you think that Arsenal, there's just more pressure on Arsenal to win these games that we've dropped points against, and more better or something like that? Do you want to look at it like that, or Arsenal should be smashing these teams? End off.
Well, if you want to be Premier League title winners, yeah, you have to go and do the business against a lot of good teams in form. Like, you have to be excellent to win a title in football. You have to, in a league format, you have to be 85%, 90% wins against tough teams, or get draws at home versus your title rivals, or draws away, whatever. The thing is, Tony, you don't have much margin for error. You don't. So yeah, do I expect you guys, again, I said it, I don't think you guys are Premier League title contenders. So I don't expect you to go to an informed Fulham and go and smash them up. But in reality, if you view it that way, then yeah, you have to say we need to find somehow, some way to win that game. You need that. This is against Bournemouth, against Brighton. Like this, if you want to be a Premier League title winner, yeah, you got to go and show. You got to put up results and perform at a very high level.
Yeah.
That's what you got
In
to do.
fact, that was
It's
why I
not
was asking you if you're just looking at Fulham based on their name, or is it based on like what they have going on right now? They're not pushovers right now, and I mean, they've touched deck on that top seven, and it's looking increasingly difficult for teams to go to Craven Cottage and get a point. I mean, they're beating teams. I mean, left, right, and center at Craven Cottage. Even Bournemouth. With the striker they brought from Porto, what's that guy's name? Steve. They brought a striker from Porto.
Porto. Oh, Evan Nielsen.
Evan Nielsen. I mean, that guy adds a different kind of bite to their attack. I mean, he's always on the field. He's always running, man.
He starts for Arsenal. Does?
Exactly. Yeah.
He starts for Arsenal. He is a better footballer and
easy.
Forward
He starts for Arsenal. Easy. He starts for Arsenal. Keeping it real, Chelsea's here. It says the bad boys duo is back. Yeah. Me and Steve, we're back. Steve is my day one, man. We're back. But keeping it real was also part of our day one struggles then. It's down here. It says The bad boy duo is back. No
Oh,
Didi.
yeah.
Big up, guys. Yeah, big ups
But
to my brother, man.
Tony, here's a question for you. Were you surprised that you dropped points to Fulham?
I was surprised. I was surprised because
They did take points off of you both occasions last year as well.
last year, yeah, exactly. But I thought revenge would be in our eyes. That's number one. And again, why? The more reason why I was more shocked about that is because Liverpool didn't play their Merseyside derby. So I just felt that the players will have that fire. I mean, see, Steve, yeah, I mean, you have to go with the mentality thing down here, yeah. I mean, the table toppers didn't play this weekend. I mean, this past weekend. That was a chance to just be 4 points. See, yeah. I mean, what would you give to be 4 points, yeah, nearer to Liverpool and put yourself, yeah, firmly, as in just station yourself firmly in that title conversation? It doesn't get better than that. And if what it takes to get to that point is going to Craven Cottage and beating Fulham, I really fancied my chances. But yet again, Mikel Arteta, when I saw that first 11 and then I choked. I choked right there and then because, I mean, we've said this, man. You don't see, man. Ola said something. Mikel Arteta put square pegs in a square head.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not even talking about square peg in round holes. I mean, it's talking about two squares. I mean, Mikel Arteta has done this mistake last season, putting Thomas Partey in that right back position. You knew what happened to us. And then you're doing that again. I mean, Kai Havertz was drab. I mean, I used to like to defend Kai Havertz, but I mean, you have to call a spade on this one, man. He looked drab, was nowhere to be found. I mean, it's now showing that he's not just even that half decent striker. He's not. He's not. He's not. He's not. The only reason why I used to have a soft spot for him is because I just feel he's not a striker. And anything we're getting out of the guy.
Tony, what position does he play? He's a positionless footballer. He's not good at much. He's not good at many things.
He's not good at many things. Yeah, you should agree. You should agree. But again, I still think we can get the best out of him. But this manager is just an Oreo. It's a chicken.
Yeah.
I mean, if you put, even Lucas Podolski was saying that in an interview where he declared that Kai Havertz isn't a genuine striker, and I hear him. But he was putting up this argument that Kai Havertz, you can bring out the best in Kai Havertz when he plays in behind the main striker. So where is that main striker that he could feed off from? It's non-existent. Gabriel Jesus is not there. Gabriel Jesus is a lost cause at Arsenal. I mean, and that's one of the highest earners at Arsenal Football Club. I mean, what is there to see? See, Steve, there's a big rumor in the rumor mill that's really, causing havoc in the rumor mills, and it is this guy we've just criticized right now going to your football club with a swap deal. I'll give you the footnotes. Gabriel Jesus, it is muted, yeah, that Gabriel Jesus is going to have a swap deal with Alexander Isak for £80 million. Newcastle would sell Isak to us, and that swap deal will also send Gabriel Jesus down to Newcastle, to Northumberland, and we'll have to also pay £80 million. What do you think? Is that fair business for Newcastle? Do you think Gabriel Jesus has what it takes to unlock? Steven,
why are you laughing? This is such a great deal for us. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing like a bank robber that just got out with all the money?
Bro, I mean,
why are you laughing?
Steve, let me laugh, man. Let me laugh, man. I mean, do you think Gabriel Jesus can come to your football club and unlock that attacking, I mean, just unlock the attacking floodgates. I mean, that's what I mean. See, I'm just a radio guy. I mean, don't blame me. That's
regular Tony trying to give me fucking JG.
Steve, I'm just the radio guy. I just bring the message. I mean, that's what is muted right now. Do you think that transfer will happen? And if that transfer happened, do you think your football club is actually jumping the gun on this one?
It would be a horrible, horrible move if we brought in Gabriel Jesus. It would be horrible. He's not good anymore, bro. He is not good anymore. I could name 5 strikers off the top of my head that would do a better job than him. He's not good enough anymore, bro. He is nowhere near, like his next move is gonna be to an average team like a Fulham or something. He'll go somewhere in mid-table in the Prem or something. He is not gonna go anywhere good.
Yeah.
He's not going to Real Madrid.
So wait, you need to tell me that Jesus is totally finished. I mean, he can't even. Big up to Zion YT. Zion, big up to you. This guy supports me a lot. Zion, if you have your YouTube channel, let me know, man. Big up to you, Zion. Real one out here, Zion. Big up to you, my guy. And of course, BX Gun 81 says the Toon Army will go. Yeah, it says they would go ape shit, bro.
Yeah.
If Jesus
not good anymore, bro.
touchdown in Northumberland, they would go all, as in they will go ape shit. I believe that. Do you believe that?
Yeah, nobody would rate that move. Nobody. Yeah, no, we cannot be doing that. I don't believe that for a second. That sounds like a really interesting fake journalist story that they just make.
No, but no. But again, you can't say that's fake news. I mean, everyone knows that Alexandra Isaac wants to leave your football club. No. But you know Isaac wants to leave your football club. Come on, man. That's not poor journalism.
I'm not even denying that. I think he does.
Yeah, he wants to leave. So any news that comes up,
I'm not saying that side of it I haven't even spoke about. I'm talking about the Jesus thing. Bro, that would make zero. That would be a horrible move. It would be a horrible move.
But Steve, I hear you. Yeah, on paper it might be a horrible
and it won't
move.
happen.
Steve, again, check out move after move after move. Players that have played at Arsenal that have gone out of the system to go excel. A big example is Granit Xhaka, from the most abused and the most cost player on this team,
right?
To German invincibles, as in Strasbourg, Steve. See, man, I know you have an eye for these things, yeah, but I mean, you also have a keen eye for European football. Come on, man. You know what we're talking about. I mean, from the most abused player at Arsenal, I mean, in the goddamn league. This is the most abused player and went out there to become a German invincible. Make sense. Look at Emile Smith Rowe. Everyone said he's useless. Many said he won't make any team. He's not good enough. People said send him down to the championship. I mean, it just took a Marco Silva to unlock the midfield maestro called Emile Smith Rowe. And he's getting goals and is the midfield marshal. So Strasbourg, Steve, is good for, Newcastle fans to say, oh, they'll go apeshit if Jesus moved the other way around. But I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Players that leave Arsenal go on to do greater things.
Yeah, but some of them don't, like Nketiah at Crystal Palace, who hasn't scored a goal yet.
Okay.
Like there are examples. Yes, there are examples of players leaving Arsenal under Lacazette is doing just fine at Lyon, scoring a bunch of goals. He just scored his 100th Ligue 1 goal of his career for Lyon not too long ago. Aubameyang last year for Olympique Marseille was scoring 30-plus goals in all comps. So, yes, there are examples. But the thing is, those guys never look completely finished. Those guys never looked awful.
I agree.
For months and months and months and months and months. Xhaka, there were rough patches of form for him, but then that last season he was at Arsenal, it was very good. Very good. And
Yeah.
he chose to leave, if I'm not mistaken, because his wife wanted to move to Germany.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
said
for
that.
me, yeah, he's done. He's done. Jesus, I don't want him. I would rather take
Yeah.
a Jonathan David, Santiago.
So he's not good enough for any Premiership side, right?
There are many strikers, Tony, that I would rather take than Jesus.
Than Gabriel Jesus. Okay.
So many strikers.
Good and okay. I mean, I hear you. I mean, but this player that has been muted here, yeah, Jonathan David, man. Why is no one looking at that option? I mean, I'm seeing that guy. Is it Canadian?
Yes, he's a Canadian striker.
Bro, I mean, I've seen that guy, man. I've seen the way he plays. A friend of this channel called Chris Moss, yeah. Shout out to Chris Moss. Yeah, a great guy. Yeah. You know, he has an Arsenal fan channel. Great guy. He's Canadian too. Yeah. Yeah, he's a great guy. I mean, he talks about this. He always sends me this Jonathan David clip, so and whatnot. And this guy's good. I mean, no one is completely looking at this guy. No one in the Premiership. I don't know why.
He's available on a free in the summer for free.
For free.
Tony, I'm gonna look up.
Why are Premiership clubs so blind? Yeah, to see. I mean, that guy's great.
I don't know, Tony. I don't know why the Premiership clubs sign Raheem Sterling, who's been finished for a while. Bro? Sometimes, bro, Tony. Sometimes. What? You were just talking about it. Why would Arteta put your best midfielder at right back and then move Timber, who was playing really well at right back, to left back?
I mean, it doesn't.
Why would Eddie Howe bench Sandro Tonali for Sean Longstaff? Sometimes people do.
No, it could be an injury concern. I mean, that one could be an injury concern or something like that.
But it wasn't. It wasn't.
But again, it would be bonkers to actually bench Tonali, right? I mean, it's probably top four best defensive midfielders in the league.
He could play for Man City, bro.
It walks straight into that team for me.
Does he start for Arsenal?
Then then you have to be pitching him against Declan Rice, and that'll be something questionable. I mean, Thomas Partey is our best defensive midfielder right now, and he's our best midfielder now. I don't know for now. It's a bit confusing.
Odegaard, Rice, and Tonali. Why would that midfield not work?
Tonali is a deep line defensive midfielder, so I mean, it doesn't usually explode going forward.
But he can also play Tony. He has an engine. He's got passing range.
Yeah. He's an engine. But again, you just asked me if he was going to walk straight into the team. So who is he going to get off the system? Mind you, Martin Odegaard is the system at Arsenal. Yeah. So who is he going to push out now?
He's better than Jorginho.
Jorginho doesn't start for Arsenal. So who is he logically going to push off the first 11?
He's better than Mikel Merino.
Completely no argument. But Merino doesn't make our first 11. So in our first 11, who does he push out? Partey. Partey is Arsenal's best midfielder this season.
Partey is also, and you know this, Tony, he has a lot of injury problems. Tonali doesn't. Tonali doesn't have injury problems. He's more available. And he's not, him and Partey are of similar quality. You could argue Tonali's a bit better, or maybe you say Partey's a bit better. Can Tonali advance the ball with progressive passes like Partey does?
Yeah, sure. No, there's no doubt in his quality. There's no doubt in his quality. It's about who is he gonna get off the system. That's what I'm trying to look at right now. Who is he going to push out of the system? Is it Declan Rice? I don't think so. I mean, the politics
you would
of the
have
thing.
Tonali on your bench. You would have Tonali on your bench as an option over Jorginho, over Merino.
Over Jorginho, yeah, definitely.
And that, definitely. Tony, this is what, and it all comes back to this. Your squad is not good enough to contend for the league, because a big part of that is because of your bench. A big part
True,
of
I
that
agree.
because
But
of
the biggest part is
bench.
is the striker. I mean, see,
And the
yeah,
striker as
we
well.
dominate these games, yeah. But I mean, no one is up there getting onto those chances and scoring goals. I mean, even you have to also admit that set pieces has been an avenue that has really helped us. It has bailed us also at those points where set pieces won't suffice here, just like that Fulham game where scoring through a set piece wasn't just enough. You needed just that quality from a striker, and a striker isn't what we have. So I'm not even, uh, see, I'm not thirsty for a midfielder right now. I'm more thirsty about a striker. I
Yes.
just feel the missing part of this Arsenal team is just a striker. We're just a striker away from winning the league. That's what I feel right
but
now.
Tony, the prop. No, you need a left winger as well.
No,
You do need a left
well,
winger
yeah,
as well.
well, yeah. I just really feel like if you have a striker, yeah,
You also
that
need a
is more
proper backup
formidable,
attacker.
that's more
You also need
formidable,
a
and
top-
every other attacking asset can feed off that player, and that player will make them look more better. That's what I think. I just really think that a player like Martinelli needs that spark. But I mean, when he's looking at Kai Havertz, I mean, who's just running like a headless chicken. I mean, your
this,
whole confidence
this,
it just zaps out. So I
Tony,
just feel, I mean,
this
if Victor Osimhen comes down, yeah, I mean, others are gonna feed off him. They're gonna feed off his energy with the way he plays. I mean,
is
Martinelli won't look that drab. But right now, and I mean, no one cares because even your number nine is drab, in it.
yeah, and
Shout out to
also
Waffle TV. Says
This is
big up
also
Tony and Steve.
big up
This
Waffle.
duo don't play. Real talk. Big up to Waffle TV. Subscribe to Waffle. Of course, you guys know it's my guy, my brother. You know, we do shows together. That's my guy. Go support him on his channel, Waffle TV. There's nothing waffle about the TV. It's just the name, you know. That's my guy. That's my bro. Yeah, you were saying something, Steve, man.
No, I was saying that's another thing with Arteta we can criticize him. When you guys first got Martinelli under Unai Emery, where did he play? Striker?
You mean who? Martinelli? No,
Martinelli
he
under
didn't play
Emery.
as a striker. He only went there probably because a striker had an injury, so he replaced the striker then at that time. So
And
it's not
he
really
had
like
a good
it
run
was
of
an
form
out
as a
and out
striker.
striker.
He had a
Yeah,
great run of form as a striker.
he explored with him in that game against Chelsea, and he scored goals. He explored him more. He scored a couple of goals, but and then he got injured after that. So that stopped.
Yeah.
And then it was the next season, of course. Mikel Arteta came in and everything. He scored 15 goals from the wing, and then we just kept playing him on the wings.
Yeah.
We've seen it before. He just needs the right motivation. But I mean, when you're looking for motivation, yeah, in the attacking side, I mean, who's there? Who's there to motivate this guy? No one. And no one is jostling for that position. He still knows that I mean, if Trossard gets a stinker, he knows he will come in and play. I mean, this player should really understand that, hey, if there's competition for places, someone who will come down there, score some couple of goals, and he knows he will literally not break into that team because that player is doing something quite well. But these players, they all know that nothing will happen. They will have game time. They will play. There's no competition for places. There's no striker that they can feed off. There's no striker that is motivational for them. No one is like Bane for these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, Batman has lots of motivation than this Arsenal team will ever have. I mean, right now, if this manager can't, I mean, motivate these guys to go get a win over Fulham and be within a slingshot of that position against Liverpool, I mean, what else can we do? Steve Mahala, you have that crunch game against the Foxes this weekend against Leicester City. See, yeah, these guys, they're not taking no prisoners. That's the thing. They're with this Leicester team right now. They're searching for points like demons, yeah? They're just
Yeah.
scrounging everywhere looking for points. So right now, do you think that Leicester City come this weekend, I mean, it's going to make things difficult down there in Northumberland at St. James Park?
Yeah, they'll probably get a draw or a win. I don't think we win that game. I don't think
I
we
mean,
win
you
that
are
game.
home, man.
I
Steve,
don't
have
care.
some
I
shame.
don't
You are
care for
home. Come on,
I
man.
don't care for Tony. We're it doesn't matter if we're home, away. We've had poor results and performances for the whole season. We're not very good, bro. We're not very good. We are not very good. So and here's the thing. Sometimes, like, I thought we were gonna go on a nice little run here from we came back from the international break. Let me pull it up right now. We went from the international break. Remember, we were coming off the Arsenal win and the Forest win, and also beating Chelsea in the cup. 3 good performances and 3 good results. We then lose to West Ham at home. West Ham have been horrible.
And West Ham is in relegation form, actually. One of the poorest in the league.
We drew away to Crystal Palace. Relegation form. Then all of a sudden we have a great attacking performance against Liverpool, and then we follow that up with a 4-2 loss at Brentford. Tony, we've won 2 games. We have won 2 games in our last 11 in the Premier League. That's horrible.
That's shocking form.
That's horrible. So I have no reason to think, oh yeah, we're gonna go and smash up Leicester City because we're better than them and we're at home. That doesn't matter, Tony. It doesn't matter. We'll find a way
So Steve, you're throwing away your home advantage. I mean, St. James Park is a place where these teams, when they go there, I mean, bro, you're in St. James Park. It's meant to be a vociferous place to go to, man.
Yeah, if you're a Liverpool or a Man City or Arsenal this year, because we took points off them 3, but then we lose to West Ham, lose to Brighton. What's it called? Southampton almost beat us in the opening day. I mean, like, we're not our home form against the big boys is largely like good. But we're not good, Tony. We're if I just say a score, I'll go 1-1. Leicester and Newcastle.
1-1. Okay. Where do you think will be the most dangerous spot we need to look out for in that Leicester City game? The key battles, like, where would it be? Is it going to be in the attack? Is it going to be in the midfield? Do you think it's going to be end-to-end game? As in, is it going to be a very, very fairy game, like end-to-end? Or do you think it's just going to be, 2 teams sizing up each other throughout the game?
It's going to be Leicester City on the counterattack with Vardy, Buonanotte, El Khanous,
Iheanacho should be there.
Navididi, like, they've got pace up front. And
is Iheanacho still in that team? No, it's Ndidi. Sorry, it's Ndidi.
Ndidi, like,
it's Ndidi.
They have an all right team, and Van Nistelrooy, like I said, they got the 2-2 draw against Brighton, who we lost to.
Yeah.
So, like, I fully anticipate us dropping points in that game because that's what we've done this whole season. So, yeah, we're not that good, Tony. We'll probably lose or draw. I would say 1-1 if I had to predict. I go 1-1.
1-1. Okay. Wow, man, bro.
And guess what? I'm gonna be right about it. I'm gonna be right about it.
I mean, all right, man. Steve, what do you think about us? Okay, BS gonna says we need a killer up front, whether it's a left wing striker or right wing. We need a good, hungry forward, driving attacker. I mean, it doesn't get better than this. I mean, I can name a few. Jonathan David. I mean, how about that guy? Yeah, Victor Gyökeres. Yeah, even if Arsenal have kind of like mocked that guy to the extent that he doesn't want to come to Arsenal. How about Victor Osimhen? Look at what he's doing in Turkey.
If you want wingers, go get Bakayoko from PSV.
Ooh.
There are players, but Tony, here's the problem. Here's the thing with Arsenal. Your problem is you decided instead of going and buying Johan Bakayoko from PSV for maybe 50, 55, you decide to be lazy and get Sterling on loan. That's the decision that your club thought was better to make.
But again, see, yeah, even for me, I even still feel
Or
a little bit,
Mbomo.
I mean, even Sterling hasn't even had I mean, he hasn't even have enough chances to even showcase what he could do. This blockhead manager, yeah, you brought in a player, and I mean, Sterling hasn't. To be very fair, he hasn't really even gotten chances. To be very sincere, look at Waneri. Waneri isn't even getting any start in bed. I mean, he doesn't even want to stop the guy. I mean, I'm all for, you know, I mean, easing him into the team. I'm all up for that. But I mean, stop the guy in some games. Give the kid a go. I mean, just a little bit. It might not really be like, you know, maybe from the get-go to 80 minutes. No. How about just start him and hack him off in the 70th minute? I mean, or if you're bringing in the kid, bring him in the 60th minute. That's the only player that actually wants to have direct encounters with players, with opposition players. He wants to play directly. He's hungry for goals. But I mean, oh, jeez, man.
This is why your manager.
Steve, man, let's go get coaching badges, yeah, and let's go. I mean, oh my days. I mean, why are these managers? Why are they blockheads, man? It's very clear Arsenal needs a striker to win a trophy, and the manager isn't doing it. It's very clear that Newcastle needs strengthening on the bench to have a decent shift, a decent goal, a decent push. But you guys are not getting it. So, I mean, these managers, I mean, their decisions have to be questioned. The scrutiny needs to be implied in what they've done. This weekend, Arsenal would go head-to-head. Steve Mahala, of course, you know, with the Evertonians. Sean Dyche football will be active. I mean, Sean Dyche will be active this weekend. What do you think, man, about that one?
They're awful. And you guys have a really good record against them at the Emirates, so I expect like a 3-0 win.
3-0 win for that one, yeah? Yeah. So you don't think Sean Dyche will, you know, will bring those, you know, will just bring the canisters and the yo-yo table and you know, and the tricksters to just try and stifle Arsenal's midfield. I mean, it's pretty easy to play against Arsenal these days. Just stifle that midfield and double up on Saka, double up on Martin Odegaard, and it's finished. I mean, you've got us there. And then by default, we just start looking for a goal via set piece. I mean, it's quite simple. It's easy for teams to stifle us quite easily.
It is.
Just take over from Bukayo Saka. Double up on Odegaard. Out-muscle him in the middle of the park. Choke the midfield. Make sure it's hard to pass by that midfield, and you will get something. It's just that easy when playing against Arsenal these days. But again, what do you think will happen in that game, man, before we go?
Tony, end the fucking season if you do not beat Everton. End the season. End the season.
I mean, that should be a hashtag.
If you are incapable,
that should be a hashtag. End the season.
If you are incapable of beating, if your team is not capable of beating Everton at the Emirates, just end the season.
End the season.
Just give up. There is no excuse. There is no reason why you should not be winning that game. None. Zero. Nada.
Zero, man. Damn.
There's no reason.
Bro, there's no reason we shouldn't be beating Everton. We should be smashing Everton up.
There isn't really a reason why you should be struggling in that game. There is not really any reason why you should be struggling in that game.
Man, I don't know at this
point.
They're awful,
bro. They're awful. Steve, you should be fine.
Strasbourg, Steve, do you think, that Arsenal, to be very sincere, just look at this, do you think Arsenal is still in contention for this Premiership? I mean, I know you're an enemy of Arsenal. I know you don't like Arsenal. Yeah, I know that. To be very sincere, I know you don't like my football club. I know. Arsenal is the last thing you want to
I
see.
have no
I
reason
mean,
to like Arsenal. No reason. It's
I
fun.
mean,
It's fun. It's fun when we beat you guys at St. James's Park. But like,
yeah, man, I agree.
I don't
But
hate you
Steve, yeah,
guys.
I mean, if you're looking at it holistically, do you think Arsenal? Do you still find a way? Is there a permutation where you see, or something from the cosmos, or the stars aligning? I know that's my catchphrase, but still, man, do you see anything astrologically written in the stars, or something, some cosmic, kind of system coming down to a line for Arsenal to still be in contention for this league? What do you think, man? Do you see any avenue?
No, unless Liverpool have a major injury crisis and Man City keep playing poorly. But then again, I don't even trust you guys to capitalize because what happened? What happened against Fulham? You had a chance to capitalize.
To
And Man City got
capitalize,
you points.
they will
And
flush our
what did
line.
you do? You fell flat on your face. Sorry.
Bro. BX Gunner, aren't you pissed off, man, when you hear rival fans just talk about us like this?
It
I
should
mean,
piss you off.
aren't you pissed off to just hear this kind of analysis and hear people call us
But I'm
bottle
not,
jobs,
Tony. I'm
and
not
deep
lying.
inside you want to fight it,
Tony,
as
I'm
if you
not
want to
lying
fight
or
it.
being unfair.
But I mean,
I'm not lying or being unfair with my
no,
analysis.
no. I mean, it's the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah,
It's the truth.
truth
But I
hurts.
mean, it's
Truth
at
hurts.
this point, man. It's ugh.
Let's see if your club decides to, actually grow a set of balls and let go of Arteta and try to actually do something.
I mean, man. I
I think
mean,
they will, but we'll see.
well, Strasbourg, Steve. Arsenal play Monaco
Yeah.
this week on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think, man? And again, do you have this feeling like Mikel Arteta might just say, you know what, yeah, this league, yeah, fuck it. I, I, I'm going for the bigger leagues. I want to
Maybe.
fry the bigger fish. I want to win the Champions League. I want to have that ambition of winning the Champions League,
Yeah.
and mount a serious assault on this Champions League and FA Cup push. Do you think Arsenal have brighter, do you think they have a brighter chance of winning the Champions League in any way?
No. I don't. I again, your manager's not going to win you any trophies, bro. And that squad isn't. You're just not good enough. You're not better than Inter. You're not better than Inter Milan, Barcelona, Real Madrid. You could argue Bayern München. You could argue Bayer Leverkusen. I mean, I could keep going, bro. If you play Atletico Madrid over two legs, I don't think you advance past them. I don't think you get past Atletico Madrid.
I mean, no one gave us a chance when we played against Bayer Leverkusen, but see what we did to them in the Champions League of all places. I mean, it's easy for you to say you don't. I mean, we beat Bayer Leverkusen. We smashed up PSG. I mean, don't act as if we didn't. Don't act as if we didn't smash up PSG. You
did. That's why I didn't say PSG. That's why I didn't say Paris Saint-Germain, because they need to sack their manager because he's been horrible.
He's been horrible, man. That manager has been so horrible, bro.
Yeah.
But again, man, I don't know. But again, do you think Mikel Arteta will wanna put take the cup games quite seriously?
Yeah, I mean, he has to, because he's clearly not going to win the league. Very clearly, you are not going to win the league. I would give you.
Wow, man! Everyone has written Arsenal off from the title, man.
Tony, because there's too many faults with your team. There are way too many faults, and we've known this for a while. There's too many faults with your team. You're not good enough until proven otherwise.
Man, I agree with you, man. I agree with you.
So it is what it is, man.
So what's your prediction for that match against Monaco, Arsenal-Monaco?
They're a good side. They'll be able to cope with you physically with Zakaria and Lamine Camara. Akliouche, Ben Seguir, and Golovin are three silky, creative midfielder, playmaker kind of guys. They're very good. Vanderson, fullback defensively wise, you can get at them down the wings. And, Tilo Kera is not the best center back. The goalkeeper, Majecki, the Polish goalkeeper, is really good.
Yeah.
And they're in pretty.
Is that keeper a Polish number one now these days? Has it taken over
No, it's still
Szczesny?
Szczesny.
Szczesny is still there, right?
Yeah, Szczesny is. But they're a good side. I would not be surprised if you drew with them or even lost, because remember they have beaten.
Or even lost, even a loss.
Yeah, I think you'll win.
My
I think you'll win 2-1. But I think Monaco will be very competitive. Akliouche, have to look out for him. He's a wonderful player. And same with Elise Ben Seguir, really good player. They've got actual decent strikers in Mbolo, the Swiss striker.
Mbolo. Yeah, Mbolo.
George, there's a Nigerian striker there who's 18. George Ilenikenya. He's super talented.
He's great.
Minamino's a good player. They've got a decent squad, man. They've got a really decent squad. So, yeah, you got to look out for them for sure. But, yeah, I think you'll get a 2-1 win or something like that. But
win or something. Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if you drew or lost. Not at all.
Beard's gonna says, I'll bring in Mancini. He also says here, Gasperini has an eye for good attacking players. I mean, all these guys, all these Italians here that people are mentioning these days here. And of course, BS Gunn is not the only one saying bring someone like a Mancini or a Gasperini. But I mean, who do you think, if Arsenal sack this manager here, who do you think it is better for an Arsenal team that's blessed with this crop of players? That can work with them, that can get a tune out of these people, because clearly Mikel Arteta isn't really getting a tune out of them attacking wise. I mean, in every other front, yeah, I get that. I mean, in the backside, yeah, midfield, slightly, but they can do better. But I mean, our attacking options are looking drab.
Yeah, and a lot of that's on your manager, because honestly, bro, over the years he's been Arsenal manager, there was 1 year where Arsenal had throughout the whole year a really, really good attack. All the other years, it's been hit and miss, hit and miss, hit and miss. There's been questions. So yeah, I think Gasperini would be good enough to win Arsenal a title of some sort. I think Gasperini would be good enough. I think someone like Andoni Iraola would be a good shout, possibly at Bournemouth. He's a very good manager. There are a lot of managers out there, bro. I mean, fucking hell, Okan Buruk at Galatasaray. I could keep going on and on and on.
You could keep going on, man.
There are managers out there.
But who would you prefer? Who would you prefer to replace Eddie Howe at the Harem at Newcastle? Because they have to sack that manager very soon.
Of course, bro. I want someone. I want a 3 at the back manager. I think it overall suits the squad the way so I would be bringing in someone who does 3 at the back. Go with someone like obviously the dream would be Diego Simeone, but that guy's gonna stay at Atletico Madrid the rest of his life, and that's cool because he's vibing there. But bro, I want Fiorentina's manager Palladino likes to play 3 at the back. Like him. There are a lot of good managers out there, bro. Even so, I wouldn't mind if we go left field and try someone from Major League Soccer, Wilfred Nancy at Columbus Club. I really like him. Like there are managers out there, bro, that I would bring in.
Nagelsmann. I mean, Nagelsmann. I mean, pay him off. Pay him off. Pay Germany off. Get Nagelsmann. I mean,
the worst thing you can do, Tony, is ask and he says no. And then you move on.
Exactly, man. I mean, Nagelsmann. Guys, don't allow anyone to deceive you. The managers out there, bro. There are managers out there, man, that can come in and take the job. But again, I hate switching managers mid-season. So I would just allow Mikel Arteta to finish up the season, and then, finish up the season, and then he can leave at the end of the season. I mean, bro, £800 million spent. I can't get no. I can't beat Fulham, bro. Steve, I can't beat Fulham. I mean, look at Maraska, look at Chelsea. I mean, they spent 1.2 billion pounds to get that team upgraded. But Maraska is in its phase one.
Yeah.
It's literally in phase one. It's not even in phase one. It's in 0.5 phase. Not even phase
We're
one
not
yet.
halfway through the season yet.
I
Yeah.
mean, he's gotten a tune clearly out of Endo Fernandez. He's made Jackson a more better striker. I mean, he's gotten. Oh my days, bro. I mean, look at Badashile. Badashile is now winning area duels. I mean, he's got these players playing for him, and they're looking good.
Yeah. And that's a manager from the championship that not many people knew too much about. That is called good scouting and identifying.
That's good scouting. Yeah, exactly. See, Steve, talk to these people. Tell them what you got going on, and what you got coming up.
Yeah.
So your channel, man.
Oh yeah. No, big up. Thanks for having me on as always, bro. Good to chop up with you. But yeah,
not having you on. It's our show, Steve.
Yeah,
it's our show.
For sure. But yeah, I'm doing a watch along for Dinamo Zagreb and Celtic coming up in about 5 minutes. So check that out.
One.
If you're interested in some UCL, yeah. So I'll be doing that.
Big one.
I'll be doing that. So yeah, big up again. Thanks for having me, man. Good show.
Definitely. See ya, guys. Go subscribe to Strasbourg Steve and follow him. Big up to Voodoo Doll. That's my graphic guy. Big up to him. Go subscribe to Voodoo Doll Gaming. That's a great guy, yeah. And it's my graphic guy. Love to him. And go subscribe to Strasbourg Steve. He has a watch along going on in the next 3-4 minutes. So please go show him some love on his channel. Even if it's just to go there, click the likes, click bait him or something like that. Just go there, just hit the likes, everywhere, yeah. So see you guys. From me and Strasbourg Steve, Barnsley is in League One. League One, BX Gunner. League One. From me and Strasbourg Steve, we are out. Peace.